Hello everyone, today I'm going to show you how to mount your case on your Hanau articulator using the Hanau face bow and bite fork. You're going to need a couple of things. You're going to need the jig, which goes on your articulator, the fork stabilizer. You need the mounting fork itself with your impression of your teeth. You need the magnetic plates, which must be clean on both sides, pristine. Everything must be absolutely clean. You're also going to need Pindex system mounting pins. It comes in 2 pieces. Hard to see. There it is. You're going to need model sep, a spatula, some scissors, the mounting stone, Regisil, and a gun, and a tip. Alright, let's get started. First things first, let's mount this on your articulator. It's important for everything to be clean. Because if your articulator is dirty, especially at the interface, when you mount your case and you send it off, your tech is going to see that. He's going to want to clean it. And at that point, you're going to lose a little bit of that vertical. So you want to make sure that that is absolutely clean. At this moment, I am assembling the face bow mounting plate and the fork, and supporting the fork like so. Okay, that'll keep the stone from pushing down on that white fork. Okay, nice and tight. All right. Now, this is after you've already cleaned, trimmed your castings. All the bubbles are off, the nodules are gone, and you're ready to mount. Also, same goes for your bites. You have to trim any excess material with a sharp razor blade, being careful not to cut yourself. These high spots will actually keep your cast from seating all the way down. So you got to make sure that you get that trimmed up nice and neat. I have done these already. I'm just going to pick at it a little bit. Be very careful, of course. Okay, you want to do the same thing with your fork. Trim it down, take any of the high spots out so that you can seat your model. Okay, now as you've noticed, there's something else here on the bottom of this model. These little holes are meant for these mounting pins. It's a 2-part system, a sleeve and the pin. The sleeve gets super glued to that hole, just like so. This will help you remove your model later. To get those holes, all you got to do is you use your pindexing system. Now for speed's sake, I've already put all the other 3 holes there. And it should look like that. You want to be careful not to go too far lingual and perforate a hole on either side. So try and stick to the tallest parts of your cast. Okay. To glue these in, just go ahead and assemble the 2 parts. Take a dapping dish. You're also going to need some super glue, an accelerator, dip, if you feel like you have gotten super glue on the interface of the metal pin in the sleeve, and just go ahead and toss that particular one and get another. You don't want to accidentally glue the sleeve to the metal pin. And once you've got it, freeze the position with the accelerator spray. Do the same thing with the opposing arch. You're ready to go. Now another critical step is to go ahead and apply separator to your casts. You don't want the mounting stone to stick to it. So once that accelerator has dried, you can apply 1 or 2 coats of this model sep, stone to stone separator. And let it dry. Same thing goes for this side. Let it dry. Do one more shot. Let it dry. And again. There you go. Okay, I think we're ready. You want to make sure that you are seated all the way. If you're not, there could be a bubble in your stone that you need to remove. follow your manufacturer's water powder ratio. This is mounting stone, not mounting plaster. There is a difference. The difference is in strength and setting time. You have a little bit more time to work with when using mounting stone. And you will kind of need it, so keep that in mind. If you use the wrong one, you will probably run out of time. Plus, the strength is quite different, I feel, in the mounting plaster and mounting stone. But you want to go all the way from edge to edge with your stone. Okay? By this time, you would have already mounted the magnetic plate. I know, it's very nerve-wracking. You're thinking you're running out of time. Don't worry. This is not the spot where you're going to have to go to extra effort here. You're just trying to marry the plate to that model, which means you don't have to have it perfect at this moment. This is the 2-layer process. So, like I said, things don't have to be perfect at this part. Okay, that's it. We're going to let that set. You want to visually inspect that your model is still seated all the way across on that plate, on that bite fork. The second step after this is set is to put a nice layer, a cap over all of this to make it nice and presentable. There's 2 reasons for that. Not only does it show pride in your work, which, believe me, the technicians notice. If you're sending a case out with stone just coming off every edge and your articulator really dirty, and you're giving this to him and you're asking him to be extra careful about this, that, or the other, he's not going to have a lot of confidence in the mounting that you created. So bear in mind, what you do shows pride in that work. And so there's a trade-off. Okay, we've gone through the initial set of the stone. You shouldn't be able to scratch it very easily. If it's still too easy to scratch, you're not quite set yet. You can make slight adjustments if you wanted to. I think we're okay now. I'm going to go ahead and proceed. Remove the fork. Remove the support. And then unscrew the jig. We're going to go ahead and mount the opposing. I like to use Regisil to hold my 2 models together instead of rubber bands. Or sticky wax, or hot wax, or compound wax. There's so many other things that people have used. This just works so much better. It's faster, it's accurate, So it's one of my favorites. Remember, you want every spot clean. The interface between the two, you want them as clean as you can make them. Go ahead and place the plate on the articulator. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. There we go. I actually need to put the magnetic plate on the articulator for the mandibular cast. Okay, now we're going to place the plate on the plate. Now we have everything we need clean and ready to go. You're going to take your bites. Place them on your model. Make sure that everything is nice and intimate. All the way around. And when you're happy, go ahead, take your gun, and I like to put 3 spots. Now, a lot of times you will have to squeeze a little bit. If you squeeze too much, then you are not getting the proper mounting. So have a decent amount of pressure on your casts, but not too much. If you put this Regisil on the heels and on that anterior part, and you release it after it's set and it pops, that means you had too much pressure between the 2 casts, and there might be something between the teeth and the bite. Okay, keep that in mind. Then I apply a little bit of Regisil. Kind of hold the 2 casts together. This is a bit more expensive way of doing things, but I like it because it works very well. You're going to hold that with steady pressure until the Regisil sets. Okay, now you can let go and check. Everything is good. Still holding on tight. Just enough pressure, not too much. Seat it onto the articulator. Okay, make sure you have enough vertical space to do the mounting, and you have enough space between the plate and the cast. And go ahead and start mixing your new batch of stone. As I've mentioned before, please be aware of the amount of dust that you put in the air. You don't want to breathe it in. I want to spread it again from edge to edge all the way across. You've got plenty of working time. Don't panic. If you were using mounting plaster, it would set on you so much faster. The mounting stone is actually quite nice to work with. But you do want to go all the way to the edge. I'll show you why later. Plenty of time. Okay, and now we're We're just going to put a tiny dollop right in the middle just to hold the case and firmly connect it to that plate. We're going to do the job of making the models presentable, the mountings presentable, after all this is done and set. All we're trying to do is preserve our vertical. Okay, that's it.